Welcome to the astrology for the week of September 10th through 16th of 2023. I'm Everett Curdy and welcome to my channel. I would highly recommend that if you subscribe to the channel, it helps it grow. If you like this video, if you share it to whoever you want to, and leave me a comment so that you can respond to how these events that are going to be describing are going to play out for you in your life. So that's really, really important because we all have our own different experience of how these astrological happenings can affect each other. And so what can happen is you can watch this video and go back over it from one day to the next as we travel throughout the week. So I want to start out on September 10th through 12th. During these 3 days, the moon is going to be in the dramatic and flamboyant and boastful sign of Leo. Now I say boastful because Leo wants to make itself known and wants to sort of put itself out there, wants to wear that apron on that shows I am this particular chef on this particular cooking show. Now that reminds me of something. Julia Child, who was a Leo with the North Node in Aries. And so she was really made to shine and really be original. Creating recipes, teaching America and everyone how to cook. Being someone who people would watch and look up to as a legend and a pioneer for for being in the kitchen. And it takes that courageous soul, the one who's willing to stand up and stand out and put themselves in the limelight of their life, to be the person that everyone comes to for wisdom, advice, and a chance for them to shine. Now, the thing about the moon in Leo is it is about you shining and being who you are, putting on a show for people to see, dressing up just because you want to, and going outside your house and meeting somebody, going on a date, because Leo rules over the 5th house and it rules over romance. Anything where you feel like you are being who you are, and anything that makes you feel special, lit up, alive, on fire, and strong in your skin is wonderful to do during the time that the moon is in Leo. Now, other attributes with the moon in Leo transit is embracing what's called an inner child. And I have it written down on my schedule of videos. It will be a video that I will be doing. But you can read about it, you can watch videos about it, but there's this concept of the inner child, of coming back to that part of you that is connected with your soul, the part of you that is innocent, that just wants to have fun and enjoy life and go on an adventure and make it so that you are not feeding into the conditions and the programming that is fed to all of us. We grow, we're born into this world, and we have these, desires and all this energy and all this inspiration and all of these things that we want to do and pursue, and all of this enthusiasm and exuberance. And then what can happen is society and certain aspects of parenting can squash some of that out of us. And I'm saying that on a general level. I don't want to make any assumptions about conditioning and how people were raised. However, the whole nature versus nurture thing, the whole you must do what I say, you must follow the rules. That whole system where you have to conform to a government or an institution or whatever. Whenever the moon transits back into Leo, we can release all the conditioning, and we can embrace our inner child. What are the things that you want to do that you feel inside you on a deep internal level that go beyond, what other people want you to do externally? What is something that gives you inspiration? Is it singing at the top of your lungs? Is it dancing to a karaoke video? Is it, making YouTube videos like I'm doing? Is it an Instagram live stream? Is it, being a performer, being in a drama theater club? Wherever you can express the qualities of your inner child and bring those qualities out, and to not be apologetic at all for embracing and showing those qualities of who you are. And so, when the moon's in Leo, it's a time to just have fun. Do things, do whatever you want to when the moon is in Leo. That is fun for you. And you can make a list of all the things that's fun for you. And you can prioritize certain amount of time in the day to to do the things on that list and choose from the menu of things that you enjoy having fun with. So, Leo is very much about seeing the positives in what you can do in your reality. Leo is about creating your own reality and making the most of the moment and coming from a place of love and excitement and passion for life. That's what Leo is about. Now, the invitation for the moon in Leo, and I don't often talk about the moon on these weekly horoscopes, but I'm going to probably bring it into the picture more. The invitation is to stop taking the world and other people and yourself so seriously. Yes, we're in Virgo season. Yes, we have our responsibilities and our due diligence and our routines and the things that we have to get checked off our list. But what about the side of life that is indulgent in a healthy way? What about the side of life that is fun and playful and full of wonderful things to do, full of grandiose ideas, full of a whole bucket full of fun things to do, fun people to meet, fun places to go, and activities that really make you feel good, that really give you that sense of pleasure? What are the activities that you can do that really remind you that, yes, this is why I am living this life. This is why I love or like my life. This is the life, basically. And I think that this is the life was a saying that was invented by a Leo who was doing something that was fun for them. So if we're getting caught in taking the world and other people and the expectations and what we have to do so seriously, the moon in Leo provides a window for us to go out of, to escape out of. Almost like somebody came to your window and wants to pull you along for a carpet ride, or, flying to Neverland. When the moon's in Leo, you can be Wendy and you can go with Peter Pan out that window to Neverland, and you can escape to a land where you can have fun and you can be a child again and to run and dance and sing "The Hills Are Alive" with the sound of music. I would also say listening to music that really uplifts you, just like the sound of music. And I think that opening song when Julie Andrews sang "The Hills Are Alive" and the sound of music is very, very Leo. Talk about a scene in a movie when someone is expressing their childlike self unapologetically. They feel it inside of them. They feel a pure, and I say pure, exuberance and positive, generous feeling inside of them that they want to express out just for the sake of doing that, because Leo can get caught up in what other people think of me. But Aquarius is more original. Aquarius says, well, I am expressing this just because I want to, and I do not have to conform to this group mentality. I just want to do my own thing and march to the beat of my own drum. So I find that listening to music that really uplifts you and really warms your heart and gets you fueled up and brings you that joy. And so I think just, doing those fun things in our life is very, very important in general. And when we allow ourselves to have fun, we really do feel abundant. So, what are the things that you can do that are fun for you that you feel abundant about your life? That you feel like, you're embracing all that there is in your life and doing things that are fun, going out and having, it can be just as simple as going out and having a bagel and coffee in the morning. Or just, going to the park and playing a game, whatever it is, where you do feel like you're having fun and you do feel abundant. Going to see a show, a theater, putting on a show for somebody else. And then the other thing is to connect with your heart, to do whatever you want to that is a sign that you are connecting with your heart and you're opening up your heart chakra. You're doing things that really make your heart sing. Is it singing? Is it dancing? Is it, whatever form of self-expression it is? During the couple of days when the moon is in Leo, it is time to do things that make your heart happy, if you will. All right, so now I'm going to skip a little ways to September 14th. What's going on September 14th? Well, this week's main event is the Virgo new moon. This new moon occurs at 8:40 p.m. Central Time and 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, these are two time zones. You can go to a time zone converter online if you search time zone converter and put those times in to find out when this new moon occurs for your time zone that you live on. So this new moon occurs at 21 degrees and 59 minutes of Virgo, barely at 22 degrees of Virgo. So if you have your sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, ascendant or midheaven, between 19 to 23 degrees of Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, or Sagittarius, this new moon is going to be a little bit more important for you. This new moon is going to highlight the themes that I'm going to talk about, especially mutability. Like, are you adaptable? Are you changeable? Do you go with the flow? Are you the tree that that blows in the wind, or are you not flexible enough to what is going on in your life? Because we are talking about the mutable signs with Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Also, if you have Taurus and Virgo, any personal planets or points in Taurus and Virgo between 19 to 23 degrees on either side, forward or backward, then this new moon is also going to be a powerful reset and new beginning for you. So it's going to be even more important, even more powerful, and an even greater opportunity to take advantage of. New moons act as opportunities for new beginnings, but it is up to us to take advantage of those opportunities. I was watching an astrologer on a YouTube channel called Latitude Shava. If you've been on YouTube and watching astrology videos, that I'm sure that you know who this is. I was watching a video which was very recently on August 23rd, the day that Mercury stationed retrograde. And it was about the financial future of the world based on astrology for 2022, because it was a video that I started watching in the past and I did not finish, so I decided to finish it. And so the man that she was interviewing had a great metaphor for conjunctions, because a new moon is essentially a conjunction between the sun and the moon. The sun and moon come together once a month for an opportunity for new beginnings. And the metaphor that he used, that I want to quote him on, is a baby being born. When you start out life, you start out as an infant. You start out in the world, and then events happen, and then you reach a point in your life, your 40s. Your Saturn returns from 28 to 30, your Uranus opposition in your mid-40s, your Chiron return 48 to 50, which is the full moon, which is culminating. It's illuminating the issues and the situations and the patterns and problems in your life that are not serving you, that must be released. And then you start waning, as you grow older, and then you go into deep reflection and meditation and introspection at the end, at the older part of your life. So new moons act as brand new portals of beginnings. A new moon is a time to start something new, to set a new intention, to go on a brand new path with regards to whatever sign that the new moon involves. And basically the new moon is basically, highlighting the themes of whatever sign the sun is transiting through. So in this case, it's Virgo. So with this new moon in Virgo, the invitation that I have for you, and while watching this videos, you do not have to take what I'm saying as set in stone and and follow what I am saying and do what I am saying. However, these videos act as invitations and prescriptions and guidance for you to things to think about and act upon to to make your life more meaningful. So the invitation that I have for you with this new moon is to prioritize self-care. This is what I have to say. Self-care. Whether it be walking more, whether it be getting outside in nature, whether it be running, whether it be meditation, whether it be journaling or yoga or getting your hands in the dirt and planting, whatever it is, the priority for this new moon of what you want to try to put more focus on and carve out more time for in your schedule is self-care. Health and wellness is yet another thing. So this is a great time to start a brand new health regimen, to think about the foods that you're eating. Are they healthy? Are they filled with nutrition? Are you eating too much sugar and you need to cut down on the amount of sugar that you're eating? Where can you eat healthier? Drink more water, drink more tea. Maybe you're looking at your phone before you go to bed and that's impacting your sleep and your mood. Maybe before going to bed, set up a routine, set up a structure an hour before, when you're having a calming environment, watching TV instead of looking at your phone and computer. Because the difference is, when you're watching TV, you're looking at something from a distance. It's not, like up close to you. Having chamomile tea, reading something, creating an environment before bed that can calm you down. Maybe this new moon offers a great opportunity for you to clean up your house, to clean up your garage, to clean up your space, to create a space that is more functional and manageable and higher vibration for you, where you feel like on a mind, body, and spiritual level, more higher vibration, that you feel like your life is headed in a more positive direction, that you feel calm and more peaceful and content with this new arrangement that you have, with this new, organization, with the space that you have carved out for yourself. Now you feel, I can get my work done. I feel clearer. I feel more relaxed. Um, and then, we have the moon in Libra, which comes right after the moon in Virgo. So now we can add more beauty and more harmony and balance to our environment. So the hallmark of Virgo season is self-improvement, not perfectionism, self-improvement. So what are the things that you can do that show that you love and care for yourself and that you are taking the steps for self-improvement? Whatever that may be for you. Now, with this Virgo energy, this new moon conjunctions can sort of shine a flashlight on the traits and characteristics of whatever sign that they are conjunct in. We also need to look to the shadow side of Virgo. The shadow side of Virgo is perfectionism. It is going to be really, really important to also look at ourselves in the mirror. Look at ourselves and say we are enough, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury rules over the stories that we tell ourselves in our mind. If there are any gremlins or if there's any mean internal dialogue that says we are not enough, because Virgo suffers from self-criticism and self-defeating tendencies where you say, I should have done this. Why am I not as good as this? I'm not good enough. Why did I do that? Why do I self-sabotage? Why didn't I do this? I should be reading more. I should be exercising more. This is the life that Virgo lives with, that goes beyond just what I have to say here in this video. It's different when you are watching this video and you understand what I am saying intellectually and it makes perfect sense. But then you go off and live your life, and then you go through your experiences, and then you judge yourself. Mel Robbins, whose work is about self-improvement, taking action upon what you want, and self-love, she has a tip where you can high-five yourself in the mirror. And what that does is it boosts your self-confidence, it boosts your self-esteem. You do it where you believe in yourself, you love yourself more. It affects your mood, and you are best friends with yourself. And when you respect and love yourself, you can be more productive, more efficient, feel more abundant about your life, and your mindset over your life and your outlook over it is much more positive, optimistic, and purposeful. That's what I have to say about that high five technique. So, if you want to high five yourself in the mirror, by all means. So, doing the things which show, which, you're proving to yourself, you're telling yourself, okay, well, I'm going to do these things because I love myself, I care for myself, and I want the best for myself. Another theme with Virgo is discernment. Healthy discrimination. So being particular in a healthy way, like going to the grocery store and saying how much sugar is in this item. Is it healthy? Picking up 2 items and choosing the healthier one. Discerning, discriminating in a healthy way. Do I want to hire this particular person? Is this person going to be supportive to my booth sale organizational thing that I have going on? Is this person going to help me become a better person? Is this person clean or neat or orderly? Should I be living with this particular person? It can be people. It can be discrimination over the foods that you're eating or the articles that you're reading. Is this worth my time? Is this worth my mental investment? Is the information in this article going to be of practical use for me? To give some examples. Now, another thing that this new moon can provide a good opportunity for is developing new healthy habits. We are all creatures of habits, and so any healthy habit that you can fall back on that is more healthy and well and nutritionally, better for you is good. So, maybe pulling out the colored pencils and getting multiple colored sticky notes to help organize things. Could it be eating more nutrient grains or doing something when you wake up, drinking warm lemon water? Um, Now, Saturn, which is about discipline, persistence, and all those kind of things, wherever Saturn goes, I just want to throw this in here. Wherever Saturn goes in the sky, wherever Saturn transits in the sky, that presents challenges with your body. So Saturn demands that you put in the hard work, basically, with wherever it goes, especially when it comes to maintaining your body. And Virgo is an earth sign. It rules over the earth and the physical body. And so wherever Saturn is in your chart, it also shows you where you might have challenges and where you might have to work extra hard to maintain this part of your body. Because it doesn't function as easy as other parts of your body. And so Saturn's currently in Pisces, and Pisces rules over the immune system. So walking, getting outside, taking in more sunlight, drinking hot tea or warm lemon water, which is something that I actually tried last week, and that can help with bloating, that can help with calming your stomach, that can help flush out unhealthy toxins in your body. So looking at Saturn and Pisces, doing the research on what foods are healthier than others, and taking those steps, following doctor's orders, doing these things which are healthy for your body and mind, are going to be really, really important. And that can be on behalf of what are you doing when Saturn's in Pisces to maintain your health with regards to what Saturn restricts when it's in Pisces. So, that's another thing that I want to say. So also paying attention to the details of your life, doing the work that require you to focus in on the details because the devil lies in the details. So paying attention to the little details of things is also going to be huge, because you could have a plan and a project, but certain things need to be in order for that to work. So that's going to be super duper important. Maybe it could be changing around your daily routines. Something brand new, and I'm going to get to that a little bit later. What are the things that you keep saying that you're going to do, but you keep putting off? Now's the time to act on them. Looking to the bounty of the earth for health resources is yet another thing. Really giving thanks to Mother Earth for all of the bounty of foods and products for health that it provides. Watching Tinkerbell and the Legend of the Lost Treasure, just that first scene, and seeing the harvest, walking into the harvest and seeing the grains that help your body. What are the resources of the earth and the Mother Earth that wants us to all be healthy and well? And what can we do to keep the earth healthy and well? So, not only maintaining and improving the health of ourselves, but also aiding the health of our environment also. Now, the aspects that I want to mention for this new moon, we are talking about the sun and moon for this particular day, the astrology of September 15th. First of all, we have the sun, we have the moon trining Uranus. So this is a time for more emotional freedom, when we want to express ourselves and liberate ourselves from any restrictive paradigm or structure that has been limiting us. It's also time to change up our home environment. That's another great thing that of how we can use the moon trine Uranus for changing up the couches and tables. Because we're talking about Uranus, which is very practical. Maybe trying a new dish, maybe eating healthier, or buying a new vegetable at the market that you have never tried before, but it's very healthy. Maybe trying fennel. I've never tried fennel. Maybe I should give it a try. Like those kinds of things like that. Maybe I could try making this dish that I had the night before and then making a 2-for-1 deal when I'm taking the dish that I made the night before and turning it into another dish that's also very, very healthy. Buying health products from a certain company and trying those particular things. Maybe finding new ways of making money because Taurus rules over money as well. So I'm now tying in Uranus and Taurus to the mix, and Taurus Virgo planting, all those kind of things like that. So eating foods that are so nourishing and so nutritionally helpful for the body. So changing up your home environment. The other thing I do want to say is we all get into certain habit patterns. We all get into certain ruts where we do one thing and we keep on doing it. We keep on going round and round and we keep on going on the hamster wheel on the treadmill. What rut are you in that you keep doing these same things over and over and over again, where you may need to, and it would be a good idea to get out of that rut, to try something else, to just do something else, to change up your routine, whatever it is. Maybe I'm going to read a book in my bookshelf around the time of this new moon. Maybe I'm going to play a meditation by Call Up Your and Read and meditate to that. Maybe I'm going to pull out my oracle cards and pull an oracle card. Get outside, take a walk around another, part of the neighborhood that you've never explored before. Anything that involves something that you're doing that falls in the category of health and wellness that is new, that is out of the box, being experimental, not being in your trying the rainbow of vegetables and fruits, so those kind of things like that. So what are the things that you are doing in your life that is comfortable and familiar to you, but you may need to get out of that comfort zone and liberate yourself? Because when you get out of that comfort zone, you may be surprised. Well, I actually feel more vitalized or more energized, or I actually like this better. I actually feel like there's more to my life than I thought that there was. I actually have a brand new outlook on my life. And so the rubber has to hit the road at a certain point in time. So we can get ourselves into a comfort zone. The stars can do whatever they're doing. There's certain planetary placements that do whatever, but it is up to us to co-create. The planets are going to do what they are going to do, but we're the ones that we have been waiting for. We are the ones to make it happen. So what are we as individuals going to do to liberate ourselves out of those stagnant comfort zones? And so making change happen, changing something up. If there's a certain routine or a certain thing that you're doing, or a certain activity or job or relationship or whatever it is that you feel needs a change and needs a fresh start, this is the time to make that happen. So keeping yourself emotionally stimulated is another thing. Because whenever we have the moon in Uranus, we are talking about probably a restless energy. we're talking about an energy where just sitting down and meditating and doing all that may not be the easiest thing to do. So maybe it is doing a walking meditation, or maybe it is planting outside in your garden. I listed that example before. Maybe it's doing a jog that can maybe make you feel more, get dopamine levels in your body higher because you feel more awake and energized when you do a run. So, and I'm just stating the fact. So those kind of things would be, positive things to do during this particular time. So your mind may be busier. You can do certain things to calm it down, but maybe just run with it. Maybe while your mind is super active, read books on self-improvement, or, doing things to keep your mind engaged and stimulated. And doing things like exercising, like reading, healthy things that can keep your mind engaged and keep your mind healthy. Doing things that stretch your mind, doing things that help your mind, maybe doing a word puzzle or something like that. I don't know what it is. The other thing is the sun is trining Uranus on September 15th. So the sun is in Virgo and Uranus is in Taurus. Now, whenever we have the sun trining Uranus, what do we have? When we have the sun, which is our individuality, our inner power, our compass that we sort of follow to guide how we put ourselves out there in the world. The sun is basically the anchor, the core of who we are. Behind everything else, who are we really? That's the sun. And Uranus is that part of us that does not want to conform, does not want to follow the status quo, does not want to follow the herd moving in a particular direction. It just wants to, be an individual, rebel, try something new, go on your own path instead of following the paths of others. Now, trines are really, really positive aspects, so it can bring out the positive parts of the sun and Uranus. So when the sun is trine Uranus, you can have these sudden realizations like, oh yeah, this is actually the path that I was meant to go on. You know what? This is actually the right answer. Maybe, and I'm going to invite you to think about the certain things that you're doing in your life and consider your actions before taking them, and being open to any insight or new piece of information or a realization that you have about a particular thing. Like, I realized this is not working. I realized that there's an easier, more efficient way to go about this. I realized that I can actually get around this in a particular way. Or I realize that I am not doing something that's helping me right now, and I need to do something better. Whatever this realization that you have that comes about for you, it's time to act on it, because the sun demands action, Uranus demands sudden action, and I mean sudden action. When you get that new piece of information, don't just let it, go away and pop like a soap bubble. Act on it. Do something about it. Now, another theme that comes through really, really strongly whenever we have the sun and Uranus in a trine is originality. Who are you apart from your relationship with your family, with your relationship with your superiors, society, the people? Who are you as your original self? What do you bring to the world that is a very, very different color or texture than everybody else? What do you bring to the table that nobody else has? The truth is that when you express your own individual self, you are doing it in the highest good of all. And so, when you can choose to be your original self with however you're doing that, with whatever you are doing, with however you are being, with whatever you feel as being original, then that puts you on a pedestal for success in your life. Now, the other thing, when I say success for your life, I mean success in the spiritual aspect of it. Like when you get to the pearly gates and they ask you, what did you learn? How did you, were you being true to yourself? And then if you say no, they press a button and then you fall. But if they say yes, then you ascend into heaven or whatever. This trine provides an opportunity to do something that is not traditional, unconventional, unorthodox, out of the box, being inventive, like finding a new way of planting, maybe writing a new novel because you have all these ideas, maybe um it could be very practical because we're talking about the sun and Uranus and Earth signs. And whenever the sun's going to be trining Uranus from now until 2025, 2026, it will be in Earth signs. So maybe it could be, I'm going to try this new flavor combination. Maybe it could be, I am going to, I don't know, create this new dish or have this new kitchen hack. Whatever it is. It also corresponds to the moon, the moon trining Uranus as well, because both the sun and moon are trining Uranus. So Uranus is about change. Now, how open are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to change? Are you at a 1 and you're super fixed and you're super stagnant and you block out all change that the universe tries to invite you and try to call you and try to pull you towards? Or are you a 10? And are you just a sponge that is totally open to whatever the universe has to bring to you? Fate must play its hand. And at a certain time, you have to make changes to the things in your life that you may have thought that were working. And you may have thought, why change this if I'm enjoying my life? I'm working. And that's what that Uranus opposition in your mid 40s can give. It's like, actually, I am meant to do more. Actually, I am meant to do something much better, much bigger, much more spiritually profound than I am doing right now. So are you open to change? Are you open to new information and new ideas? Learn that new information. Take it in, receive it, and then take whatever that piece of new information is. It an advice from somebody? Is it an idea that you heard on a video that you feel that is valuable for you to actually apply in your own life? Whatever that piece of new information, new idea. Like maybe you watched a video on a new, way of, eating right or whatever it is. Whatever that piece of new information is, how will you choose to act on that piece of new information? And liberate yourself any way that you can. Free up that restricted energy. Be free. Be who you are. So are you free or are you not free? And Uranus is currently retrograde, so we are in the process of reviewing: are we free or are we restricted? Or are we conforming to the status quo? Or are we just not doing that and choosing to follow our own inner authority? So if we have been too conforming or too people pleasing or walking in a straight line, this may be a trine where, you know what, it just feels right to do something out of the box to free myself. So yeah, so changing up your routines, whatever you can do to do that. And then Uranus is also, because we're talking about the outer planets, Uranus also is very, very spiritual. And it is that part of you that always wants you to be your own true self. And Uranus is a generational planet. So another invitation is to listen to your inner voice and go on your own path. To go on your own path. That may be very different from your family's path. Now, that sounds super broad, and the short answer is just do something different. Just go out of your comfort zone that feels true for you. That's the big thing. Now, the other final little thing that I want to mention is on September 15th, Mercury is going to station and go direct at 8 degrees of Virgo. Now, Mercury entered Virgo on July 28th of this year. It entered the pre-shadow period on August 3rd at 8 degrees of Virgo. It stationed and went retrograde at 21 degrees of Virgo on August 23rd. And then it's going to leave shadow on September 29th at 21 degrees of Virgo. And then it's going to officially leave the sign of Virgo on October 4th. So I just want to reinforce all those dates. I do have another video about Mercury and Virgo, which I have done on my YouTube channel. I will try to link it below in the description for you, or put it up in this video, I don't know. So when a planet stations, its energy is super heightened. So our minds are more active. We're communicating much more. We are thinking, we're feeling much more intellectually, much more air-like, much more flighty. There's more miscommunications that can happen right around the times that Mercury stations direct or retrograde, so that is something to keep in mind. But essentially now Mercury is going to turn direct, and we can initiate any new, plans or jobs or whatever it is now that Mercury is going direct. But it still has that post shadow left to cover. Mercury still has to walk that same territory that it went back over while it was in retrograde. It did its review, and now it's going to start moving forward again. And then we can integrate all the information and all the lessons and all of the wisdom that we have gained during the reflection process of Mercury retrograde. And we can put that out there into the world when Mercury moves forward. So, that is the astrology for the week. With all of this, what I have to say is do well, keep well, be healthy, and find new ways to get out of your comfort zone this week. And I will see you on next week's astrology video. Bye, everyone.